This week on the Race Report, we'll hear from up-and-coming driver Joey Coulter. Hot dogs were everywhere this weekend at Watkins Glen. And Brian Malcolm goes from upside down to victory lane at Thunder Mountain. All that and more on this edition of the Race Report. Hi everyone and welcome to another edition of the Race Report. I'm Ron Hills. Soggy weather didn't dampen the spirits of dozens of aspiring NASCAR champions who turned out to greet NASCAR Camping World Truck Series and Super Late Model Series driver Joey Coulter.
Even as soaked as it is, it's a neat looking racetrack, so real glad to be here. And it's kind of, it's a blessing in disguise. We get to hang out and talk. Everybody's not focused on racing and things like that, so we can hang out a little more than we probably could if they were racing, but just real glad to be here. I've actually never seen them up close before, so this is really cool. Definitely just can tell by looking at them and watching some of the races that I've seen video of. It's a great place to start. I started in go-karts, and the nice thing about a go-kart was it was really basic. There's not a lot that you got to learn other than driving, and that's a big deal when you start moving up into bigger cars. Like I said, I started in go-karts. I ran road course pavement races, and did that for 6 years, won a couple national championships, and then started stock car racing down in Florida where I grew up, and did that for a couple years. Started touring nationally with the Hooters Pro Cup Series, then moved into the ARCA Series, and then got a break in the Truck Series with RCR. And a lot of it is just being in the right place at the right time. You can do everything right, and sometimes it still doesn't work out. So a lot of it's just making sure you're in the right position for the door to open. Which it's tough. It's getting harder right now, but you just got to keep your head down and keep doing it. I just race as much as I can. I'm one of those people. If I have an off weekend, I'm at a racetrack, whether I'm driving or not, but I try to race every weekend I can on everything, pavement, dirt, trying to, I've got a bucket list, I guess you could call it, of different cars I want to try driving and things like that, because guys like Tony Stewart, Robbie Gordon, those were my heroes growing up because they could get into anything and win. My mom, my dad, my brother, my younger brother have supported me ever since we got started back in 1998, and then few years, about 7 years ago, I ended up with now as my wife, and she's been a huge part of me getting to where I am, and the support behind the scenes. That's a big part of racing that a lot of people outside looking in don't get to see. Darrell Gwynn Foundation has been a huge part of getting me to where I am, and everybody along the way. I've had some really great sponsors and great partners, and some of them, the cool part is it doesn't matter whether it's $100 or $100,000. It's the same kind of support. Another huge supporter of where of getting me to where I am has been the Cars Foundation and Rick Bristol, just bringing me along. We've been doing this race. He's been doing it for 10 years. I think I've had my name on it for 2 or 3 now, and actually got the pleasure of winning it last year, which was a lot of fun. But just helping out. When I was growing up, I had a few people that really helped me learn how to drive and would bring me to the racetrack and really help step our program up. So being in the position I'm in now, being able to come back and help kids, whether it's other race car drivers or like with cars, the families, the kids with terminal illnesses, being able to help and give back to them is really important. I think I've got just about every social media outlet there is right now. But the best way to keep up is go to joeycoulter.com. That's got links to my Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram, all that stuff. I've got race schedules on there from all the jumping around I do from track to track, and a lot of other cool stuff on there also.
Cars Racing for Cause. Actually, the Cars is Carla, Amanda, Rick, and Sarah, and that's my family. What originally happened 10 years ago, this coming December, there was a boy named Tommy Hopkins that some people were trying to raise money for who had leukemia. And I got in touch with them, and I was touched by his story, and I decided that I was going to put together a race. And down there, I like the truck series, the local truck series. They didn't have a big race, so I said, let's do a 200-lap truck race, and let's make it a charity race. So the first one was actually called the Tommy Hopkins Truckers 200. And from that, because it was, we ended up raising $6,500 doing the first one. And since then, it turned into the Joey Coulter Charity 200 Race Weekend. Actually, this will be the 4th year with his name on it, and it'll be permanently on it from here. But it's we help kids with terminal illnesses and their families. They're not all, I mean, we've had some great success stories, but then we've also lost some along the way from their diseases. But like I said, in 9 years, we've raised $180,000 and helped 27 children and their families, and it's just it gets tough when you lose them. I've gone to funerals of babies, young 3-year-olds in a coffin, and that's the tough part. But then I've seen a lot of miracles during this time too, so it's a lot of fun to do. We enjoy it, and this coming December will be my last one as heading it up. I've had some health issues of my own this year and battled through some stuff, and I've got to take some stress and some of that stuff out of my life. I just had a new grandson, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to still help with it and help on the board, but it's going to actually go over to another foundation name and be run, and Joey will still be a part of all that. And I'll still, like I said, I'll still be on the board and help, but I'm not going to be the one doing all the main stuff. So going to be a little bit of a change, but it will still continue to do what it's doing right now. Carsevents.com, you can go on there and you can find everything that talks about our site. It also has the information for each of the events separated out. Our next event actually is coming up in July. We do a bowling event. And then at the end of the year, December 11th and 12th down in Auburndale is where we do the big race. And it'll be good. It's going to be a celebration. It's our 10th year. So we're going to make it a celebration, and then being my last one, we got some special things. I'm actually going to jump in a scrambler car and race in my last race. So it's kind of an end in a way for me, but it's also going to be a lot of fun. And a lot of people that support this event for many years, including his father, who's been a sponsor now, I believe, for the 6th or 7th year in a row, that help us be able to raise. We try to make sure that all the money is raised to pay everything we need to before we open the gates. That way every dollar we take in goes to the families.
Still to come, we'll be at Watkins Glen International. More straight ahead on this edition of The Race Report.
You're watching The Race Report on Fox 40.
30 years of satisfied customers. That's the proud history of Brush and Pallet Auto in Candor. We have a large selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here is this week's Car of the Week. We'll give you a $1,000 minimum trade-in, and we have financing options to fit your needs, including a first-time buyers program. Think you can't afford it? We think you can. Check us out at brush-pallet.com or visit us in person at 598 Owego Road in Candor, New York.
Unicorn Electronics in the Valley Plaza, Johnson City has the best pricing and selection of audio, video, and computer cables in the area. Don't spend a fortune on that HDMI cable for your new HD TV or Blu-ray player. Unicorn Electronics has quality cables in the lengths you need at a price you can afford. Expanding your network, Unicorn has the patch cables and accessories to make it happen. When you need to connect, think Unicorn Electronics in the Valley Plaza, Johnson City.
Satako's Catholic Shop on Endicott's Washington Avenue has offered our Catholic community the finest selection of religious gifts, holy medals, rosaries, statues, and more. Visit Satako's Catholic Shop, Washington Avenue, Endicott.
Foundation alert! Foundation alert!
Pick me! Pick me!
We don't badmouth the competition. We just beat them in price, quality, and customer service.
Hi, this is Craig Moss with KRM Foundation Repair. If you got water in the basements, cracked or flaking foundations, foundation walls that are falling in, call us for a free estimate today. We're KRM Foundation Repair. Good as any, better than some.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back to the Race Report. Wet or dry, one of the highlights of every Salem 6 Hours of the Glen weekend is the hot dog eating contest, and where there's food, the Race Report crew can't be far behind.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2015 Salem's Hot Dog Eating Contest champion by technical knockout in so much as he just took a bite. So kind of like a Tyson thing, really. Bad reference. Okay, sorry. But he did manage to get it down. Fierce competitors, 9 hot dogs plus 1 bite. We're going to give it up for our 2015 winner right here. Holler your name out. Tell him how much you love him out there.
My name is Sean. Thanks everybody for coming out tonight. I could go for another dog.
Stalins, you heard it. He wants more dogs.
Stevenson Motorsports scored a wet and wild triumph in the Continental Tire 150 on Saturday. Robin Little took the checkered flag with co-driver Andrew Davis, holding on for the win after the race was delayed with a red flag due to deteriorating weather conditions and rain that pounded Watkins Glen International for the length of the event. For the number 6 Stevenson's Motorsports Chevrolet Camaro Z28R team, it was their 3rd win in as many races in the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge. It was also the pairing's 2nd straight trip to the top of the podium at the historic road course. In ST class, Stefan McAleer and Chad McCumbry took victory in the number 5 Mazda MX-5 for CJ Wilson Racing.
Okay, we're here, 2015, Watkins Glen, hour 5. We're just beginning hour 5. Look at the muck out there. They had to red flag the race because there was so much water, standing water on the track. The rain has stopped, but they have to clear the track. The engines have just fired up, so that sounds like they might be getting ready to go back to racing, but it's your only guess. Look out over there to the east and you can see how dense the clouds are, but we can hear the cars firing up, and I'm looking all around and it doesn't look like it's thinning out much more, but they're going to go out racing again. So back to you, Ron.
Richard Westbrook and Michael Valiante captured their 2nd consecutive Tudor United Sports Car Championship Salem 6 Hours of the Glen victory. With the win, the pair take sole possession of the Tudor United Sports Car Championship points lead. The number 01 Ford EcoBoost DP of Scott Pruitt and Joey Hand finished 2nd after being forced to pit for fuel with less than 30 minutes remaining in the 3rd round of the Tequila Patron North American Endurance Cup. Class winners in the Salem 6 Hours of the Glen include the number 17 Falcon Tire Porsche 911 RSR of Brian Sellers and Wolf Hensler, number 8 Starworks Motorsports Oreca FLM 09 of Ringer Van de Zandt, Mike Hedlund, and Alex Popow, and the number 93 Riley Motorsports Dodge Viper SRT of Al Carter, Cameron Lawrence, and Mark Goosens. Despite the weather conditions, it was another record-setting crowd at the facility that was voted the top NASCAR track by readers of USA Today. That was announced last Friday. Next up for Watkins Glen International is the Finger Lakes Wine Festival. For more information, log on to theglen.com. Monday night, we return to Chubby's Sports Bar in Johnson City. At 7 p.m., the taping of the Race Report. This week, our special guests are members of the Jordan Racing Team. 8 o'clock, Racing Trivia presented by Salamita State Fair Speedy Sauce. And the competition is heating up this week. Doug Speed Shop owner Bob Gentile will be joining us. The Race Report now has its own YouTube channel. You can check us out at The Race Report TV. Also, follow us on Twitter at The Race Report TV.
You're watching the Race Report on Fox 40.
98.1, The Hawk, number one for 20 in a row.
This is Jason Aldean.
Hot New Country.
This is Luke Brown.
And kiss tomorrow goodbye.
This is Charles, Dave,
and Hillary.
And we are
Lady Annabella. And I don't know why you don't take me downtown anymore.
Binghamton's Hot New Country.
This is Carrie Underwood. Every tear-soaked whiskey memory blown away.
Binghamton's Hot New Country. 98.1, The Hawk.
Satico's Catholic Shop on Endicott's Washington Avenue has offered our Catholic community the finest selection of religious gifts, holy medals, rosaries, statues, and more. Visit Satico's Catholic Shop, Washington Avenue, Endicott.
Roast beef, mashed potatoes, spaghetti sauce, sliced tomatoes, scrambled eggs, turkey legs. I pinch everything. Salamitas. There's nothing else like it.
30 years of satisfied customers. That's the proud history of Brush and Pallet Auto and Candor. We have a large selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here is this week's Car of the Week. We'll give you a $1,000 minimum trade-in, and we have financing options to fit your needs, including a first-time buyer's program. Think you can't afford it? We think you can. Check us out at brush-pallet.com or visit us in person at 598 Owego Road in Candor, New York.
Welcome back to the Race Report. 1 week ago, Brian Malcolm was looking at the world from a whole new perspective, but Monday night he was enjoying the view from Victory Lane after holding off a hard-charging Stuart Friesen to win the Lightning on the Mountain.
Thanks to Olam's and Town Mechanical, VP Fuels, American Race Tires are our race night sponsors tonight. Don't forget to support them that support racing. White flag coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know who you're rooting for. Whoever it is, we hope he does well. If you don't have a favorite, pick one out and root for him hard. Who's got the hot shoe tonight? We'll find out. 50 laps from now, $5,000. Ladies and gentlemen, there's only one more thing to find out. Here they come.
As they take it into turn number 3. When they come out of turn number 4, Sammy gets up on the starter stand. We're going to answer it. Who's ready?
50 lap Lightning on the Mountain, big block, small block, modified feature is underway down the back straightaway. We've got a battle for the lead on lap number 1.
Lap number 1 at the stripe, it's going to be Chan Spoonhour, but it hit me up on the top side, sticking a nose in front now. Friesen getting way up and out of the group, but he's got a good run out of turn 2 as they motor around here to complete lap 2. Your new winner, Jerry Higby.
Higby now leading the way into the corner. Following him is Spoonhour. Then we've got another Spoonhour battling now with Borrego down the back straightaway. Charging into the turn, Danny Johnson and Andy Bicchetti.
Borrego taking a look to the inside of Billy Spoonhour. He's looking to get by. Way up on the outside, that's the Waddle Child, Andy Bicchetti. Malcolm down on the bottom as they motor into turn number 3. Mike Nagel there with that M7 machine.
Here comes Bicchetti. Oh, down the straightaway. Johnson, Nagel getting together. Friesen getting crossed up in the turn. He'll lose a couple of spots. Friesen's got front end difficulties.
Stuart Friesen in trouble with the 44. He's 1 point out of first. He's second in the point standing.
We'll be ready to go. So he's the number 2 man in points. He's got a long way to go coming from the back.
Green is back out. Anthony Borrego third in points. He could be the big winner here tonight. The Dr. Danny Johnson now. He's got down on the bottom. Look at Malcolm go down deep. Hang on. Woo!
It was Becchetti getting sideways over there. He saved the no contact from anybody else. Down the back straightaway, Becchetti leading the way. Johnson now third inside of Spoonhour down the back straightaway. Becchetti battling now with Rudolph and with Nagel.
Battling still up front. Hey, gonna stack them up here in turn number 4. We got a bunch of them down here. Looks like Ricky is in there to 76. Stuart Friesen, he's backing up. He's involved. Tommy Meyer pulling out of there with the 3. Oh, bad break for Jerry Higby. But here comes Brian Malcolm. Malcolm in the middle, but he's on the inside. He's going to be your leader coming out of 4.
Malcolm catching Spoonhour. Side-by-side battle for a lap and a half driving by. Here comes Perego and Becchetti. They've been side-by-side for a number of laps as they close on Danny Johnson.
Danny Johnson right there running third. Becchetti going way up. We got 2 of them down here. We got Billy Van Pelt and Jackie Brown hooked together.
Here comes Malcolm leading the way, pulling away from Danny Johnson. 3 wide. Becchetti strunk into the turn along with Spoonhour.
See Andy Becchetti. He's going to start working the outside of the speedway, trying to work around Jeff Strunk and that 88 way up on the top side. Bobbled just a little bit that time.
Coming up this time will be halfway. Here comes Stuart Friesen. Friesen coming up through the pack. We got a tangle in turn 1. Yellow, yellow.
Caution coming out as they complete lap 25. So Malcolm picking up $100 from Simplicity. Heavy lap traffic. Malcolm's going to have to make a decision. Going to try to work around the Chris Dahl car. Doesn't want to give up that bottom groove. 47 will be 2 when they come out of the turn. And the guys are coming on now. Parallel sticks are in the air.
Just 2 laps ago, lightning on the mountain. Danny Johnson and Stuart Friesen moving in on Malcolm. Heavy lap traffic. Perego right with him. A 4-car duel down the back straightaway. Heavy lap traffic. Malcolm is on the bottom. Final lap and the Olms lightning on the mountain.
White flag out. Friesen getting underneath Johnson. Perego underneath Johnson. And one going around up high in turn number 4. And one caution is out. Gotta go caution. Caution is out. Brian Malcolm still your leader.
Malcolm, Friesen, Johnson, Perego, Strunk. 1 more lap. 50 laps will complete it. Here they come.
Track regular Brian Malcolm getting a good run out of the turn. Friesen have to go to the top side. Trying to work it around there. Malcolm your leader. Friesen trying to crank it up on the top side. Down, taking his time through the turn. The short track Supernational. The win goes to Brian Malcolm. Friesen for 2. Danny Johnson for 3. Perego for 4. Strunk for 5. Rudolph for 6.
Gabe Forward was the winner of the 4-cylinder feature. To sportsman action, where Nick Nye is in the lead. Charlie Hendrickson is in second. Now Charlie Hendrickson is first, and Nick Nye is last.
Green back out here, Nick Nye. Charlie Hendrickson Jr., Tommy Collins Jr. Hendrickson taking a look to the inside, and Nick Nye couldn't quite get it done. Kenny Hammond right there as they work it through turns 3 and 4.
Oh, the lead car in trouble in turn 4. Nick Nye on the infield apron brings out the yellow.
Work it through turns 3 and 4.
Oh, the lead car in trouble in turn 4. Nick Nye on the infield apron brings out the yellow.
Did I mention that Nick Nye is a regular at the Skyline Raceway?
Charlie Hendrickson Jr., Tommy Collins Jr., Chris Jordan, your top 3. Kenny Hammond right there 4th, taking a look to the inside of Jordan, can't quite get by. Corey Pike, and then it's the 78Z of Ryan Olsemer.
Tough break for Grosso, knocked out of the event after a restart tangle, and now Eric Leet is putting the pressure on Hendrickson as we get back to green. Side by side out of turn 4.
Eric Leet trying to get that lead away from Charlie Hendrickson Jr. Kenny Hammond trying to get under Chris Jordan. Leet, the point leader here at the Speedway. The marathon man, he's your new leader now.
Down the front straightaway, final lap in tonight's 25 lap 1,000 to win. Sportsman feature, battle for second down the back. Eric Leet leading the way.
Leet gonna get the feature win. Kenny Hammond, Hendrickson gonna get second. Hammond gonna get third. Fourth is Chris Jordan. Fifth is Olsemer.
The final event of the evening was the street stock feature, and Earl Zimmer won by a car length.
Dinehart coming back from the earlier spin, going by the number 4 of John Cooper. Into the turn, Dinehart is third, but a good distance behind the other two. Carpenter still can't get by Zimmer, 2 to go.
They working through the turn, parallel sticks are out. Earl Zimmer, Jonathan Cooper, Dinehart. And Cooper and Davis, your top 5. White flag this time by.
Final lap in tonight's Lightning on the Mountain program. Here comes Carpenter, putting the pressure on. He'll go back to the top. Now diamond the corner, down the back straightaway, chasing the leader.
Down into turn number 3. Zimmer's your leader. Carpenter going to take one more dive to the inside as they work it through the turn. The wind going to go to the logger, Earl Zimmer. Carpenter for 2, Dinehart for 3, John Cooper Jr. for 4, Ricky Davis for 5.
Please join us this Monday night at Chubby Sports Bar in Johnson City at the corner of Riverside Drive and Grand Avenue. 7 o'clock, the taping of the Race Report. This week's special guests will be members of the Jordan family racing team. At 8 o'clock, Racing Trivia, presented by Salamita State Fair Speedy Sauce. Special thanks to James Eggleston, Matt Hornick, and Lee Shelp for great coverage under extremely wet weather conditions at Watkins Glen. For the entire staff of the Race Report, thanks for watching. Until next week, I'm Ron Hills, and I'll see you at the races.
If he plays it right, he might get a twofer. Frank Kennedy up on the outside. Nick Kennedy still leading. Gabe forward now. Got a good run going into the turn 3 as they work it through. There goes the 110 around. Smoking into the infield. Leaves a little bit of moisture on the track. Is Gabe Forward your leader on that lap? 11 laps in, 4 laps remain now. The Smoking Texas Barbecue down there in the infield. And there's Gabe Forward now as the Kennedy duo having it backfire on them, and Wood gets around and they run 3rd and 4th. They left some debris down there in turn number 4. Now it's Gabe Forward all by himself. 13 laps in, 2 to go. Ryan Wood is second. Then it's Kennedy 3-4. Nick on the inside of Frank. White flag one more time around. There goes Kennedy out of shape. He gets hit by Kennedy. Brings the bumper closer to the 4th turn. Feature only. Checkered flag is out. The win gonna go to Gabe Forward. Second gonna go to Wood. Third is gonna go to Nick Kennedy, then Frank Kennedy, then Nornhold, Guy Raymond Jr.,